Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So welcome to the third installment of my R&B... Damn, this wrong video. Okay, welcome to the third installment of my Your Questions, My Answer series, where I answer a bunch of questions that you all sent me. Clearly I'm tired, and clearly I got my videos mixed up. You know, I don't make them enough, so I'd be like, what video is this again? Anyway, so you all sent me questions via Twitter or YouTube comment section or inbox, and I just went from there, and I'm going to answer some. You can always send some more of this series. Just keep going and going as long as y'all send questions. The first question is asking me, what exactly is your nationality or ethnic background? Are you African? Are you West Indian? You look like a bunch of things, but I never know exactly what race you are. Hell, I don't know either. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I identify as black. I identify as being a part of that social construct known as black, which is basically a race of people of African descent created due to the institutionalized effects of slavery, where we're mixed with a bunch of stuff and we don't know what we are. So I identify with that. But I'm also somebody who's not too good to say, oh, you know, I don't have no African in me. I'm quarter this and I'm quarter Cherokee and I got a piece of French and I got everything except black and African in me. No, I identify as a black person who has roots that trace back to Africa. Now, I don't know where in Africa they trace back to, but I don't know. My family tells us that we're West Indian and that there's some long story about somebody being outcasted in the family from Trinidad and somehow we got to America. I don't know. I really don't know. But I would like to trace my roots, I guess, or, you know, do one of the genealogical DNA tests and figure out which region of Africa am I most likely from. Because I get mixed up with a lot of different groups. Like sometimes, like if I had my hair grown out, like in the winter where it's all curly, locked and napped and whatever you want to call it, people think I'm Ethiopian, and I always get mistaken for being Ethiopian when I go into 7-Eleven. And then I work with a bunch of people that are West African, and a lot of parents originally thought I was from Ghana until they heard me talk, and they're like, oh, never mind. And then, like, honestly, real talk, I remember I was sleeping one time, and somebody came and knocked on my door like 7 or 8 in the morning. And my neighborhood is very, very diverse as far as different groups of people from different regions of the world. So it's like this lady, and she's trying to promote her church and tell me about Jesus and all this stuff. So I open the door, and she's like, good morning, my brother. Are you from Ghana? And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not from Ghana. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. You ain't gonna tell me about Jesus now because I'm not from Ghana? It's like that? You gonna condemn me to hell and just let me burn? Okay, like, I might actually be from Ghana. It's just my people went on vacation and just never came back. Well, maybe not vacation. They were, like, held against their will. But, you know, they just never came back. We might be cousins. It's like that. But, you know, so that's that. So I don't really know. Next question. Somebody asked me, you don't dance anymore. Why is that? What happened? Life happened. And things just happen. And I would really like to get back on stage and perform again because it's been 5 years since I performed on the stage as far as dancing, and it's been 3.5 years since I actually taught classes in different groups and traveled and stuff, and I would really like to get back into it. So hopefully one of these days I can get back into it before it's too late, before my knees give out, before I'm just so outdated and old and I'm still trying to do the running man and everybody's doing some crazy stuff. Crap, I don't know. Somebody asked me, have I ever had a bad comedy show? And yes, I have. And here's the background to it. So I haven't really done as much comedy as I would like to in the DC area, but when I was in Seattle, Tacoma, I was definitely doing shows every other week. And Seattle doesn't have a large comedy market for up-and-coming comedians who are not well established. So when I was first starting out, I used to always circumvent the same few comedy clubs. And I finally earned a feature spot at Tacoma Underground, which is like this really small comedy club that people go to if they can't do Seattle Underground. And so I was supposed to be the feature. I get there, they mix something up, and they're like, oh no, you're not the feature tonight, you're the feature tomorrow night, but you can open up for this guy because he's great. And also, I know you were the feature and you're supposed to have like 20, 30 minutes, but no, you need to cut it down to 5 to 10. I'm like, great, okay, so I got to cut my set list down, and okay, let's see. So I get there, and the audience and I are cut from 2 different cloths. Like, I perform for all types of groups of people, but not this one. This was like a biker gang, leather vest, I'm the lesbian with my buzz cut that's dyed red in a mohawk mullet fashion, and I'm this other random person, and oh, the guy across from me has the I Hate Obama tattoo, and she has the Hells Angels thing, and she likes to drink the devil's spit wine. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die in here. So I'm the only black person in there. Oh my god. And there's nothing wrong with being the only black person, because, you know, we're all American and we all have this great utopian culture, but not when America's divided into like 50,000 different cultures that don't always really mesh well and see eye to eye. So I go up there and I do my set, and I'm not getting booed. I'm just getting blank stares and silence and crickets. So I'm telling all these jokes, and I was going to use my whole 5 to 10 minutes because I was pissed. And I stayed up there all 10 minutes, and like for the entire set, it's just like they're just staring at me like I'm some alien, and I couldn't decipher what the looks meant. I'm like, this is uncomfortable. So I kept telling my jokes, and I was like, eventually, yeah, well, somebody gonna laugh at something in here. Y'all ain't that damn tough. And so after 10 minutes of crickets, I'm like, you know what? Let me get off the stage because y'all are killing me softly. And out of nowhere, they just bust out dying at that. And I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't the joke. I was serious. Y'all really killing me softly. Y'all hurt my feelings. And they're just dying. They're thinking it's hilarious. I'm like, yeah, this is the most confusing crap. So I didn't, I'm like, okay, thank you. And I get off stage and they're clapping and laughing. And I don't know if they're clapping because they wanted me to get off stage or because they actually enjoyed that last joke. But it was confusing. I would have rather just been booed. Like, but that's the one bad show I've ever had. Other than that, I usually get a good reception and have a great time on stage. But that was very uncomfortable and awkward. So then, of course, I was like extra cautious when I went to perform the next night. Somebody asked me, this is a good one. Worst celebrity encounter. I haven't really had any bad celebrity encounters. Minus Wolf Blitzer, which I told y'all about in my BET on this video. Other than that, I've always had a pretty good time with the celebrities. Maybe their entourage got on my nerves. I remember when I met Ashanti, her makeup artist didn't want to take the picture for us because he was saying, I don't do pictures. I was like, listen here, you're not Ty Hunter and you're not working for Beyonce. So humble down and take that picture so I can put it on my Facebook default. But, no, of course I didn't say that. And then, hey, nothing wrong with Ashanti, but he was kind of a jerk. Which is kind of rude. And mind you, like, the event that I was at was something from our organization, and she would happen to be there. And we actually missed the event because I couldn't get the parking fast enough because DCA ain't never got no parking. And we had missed the event, but the celebrities hadn't left yet. So I was like, well, we're going to camp out at all the limos and just meet them as they come in and get our pictures. And I happened to corner Ashanti at the elevator, like, oh, Ashanti, I'm a big fan. I have all your albums. And I've gone to all your concerts. And you're just such a great inspiration to me. Can I have a picture, please? And yeah, so she was cool. She took the picture. It was great. Ashanti was really cool in person. It made me like her afterwards. And I actually went and actually did buy an album. And moving on. Somebody asked about the R&B is Dead series when you're doing another one. Well, clearly I thought that's what this video was until I corrected myself. But one's coming. So one will be here soon enough. Somebody asked me, what is a favorite YouTube video that I have? And I don't know if they're asking me like a favorite YouTube video that's on YouTube or one of mine. As far as YouTube in general, I don't have a favorite video. I have that playlist of favorites like everybody else that has just thousands of videos, which are like music and dance and politics and this and documentaries and a bunch of crazy stuff. But, as far as my videos, I think the favorite video that I've uploaded recently is the Bethany versus Omarosa. I really enjoyed that video just because I like the scenario that I did when trying to explain privilege. Because I think I was very creative, and I think I did a decent job of explaining it in a way where people aren't offended and they see it through the lens that I see it. Because of course, whenever you talk about race or anything related to social issues, it's hard to explain it to people who don't see from your same lens, or people who don't walk in your same shoes and can't experience life the same way you do. So I really enjoy that video. If I ever wanted any video of mine to go viral, it would be that one. But of course, ain't nobody gonna let that go viral like that. No, I gotta do some ratchet stuff on YouTube to get famous, and I won't be doing that either. Somebody asked me, what is my least favorite thing on TV? I don't have a least favorite show, but I will say I'm not a fan of any of those Mona Scott shows on VH1. I can't stand them. Like the Love and Hip Hop and the Basketball Wives, and I don't know if she does Black Ink Crew, but I don't like any of them shows. And I mean, they're not bad shows. Their sole purpose is to entertain us. But I'm not a fan of shows that just make us look like we're not intelligent and that we're just idiots. Like the last time I watched Love and Hip Hop, some lady was sucking a man's finger at a restaurant. I'm like, what the hell? Who does that? I was like, see, and my beef with that is everybody likes to go in on Tyler Perry because, oh, he endorses stereotypes. Oh, Madea is so stereotypical. Oh, this, that, and the third. But I'm like, at least in Tyler Perry productions, there's always some little story at the end, and there's still some positivity, and it's supposed to inspire us and motivate us, and at least all the characters usually have something going for them. My beef with Tyler Perry has always been that his stuff is very one-dimensional, and if you're a bad character in his movie or his show, you're a bad character in every single scene, every single time you're on camera, and your character is never developed. That's my beef with Tyler Perry Productions, but Tyler Perry has always given people jobs, and he's always given second chances to actors and actresses who may have only gotten small opportunities and, may not have got to become the stars that they wanted to be as far as movies. So I respect him for always being somebody who gives people a shot that Hollywood is saying no to. That's cool. But as far as Mona Scott, though, I'm not a fan of any of that crap. And my biggest beef is like, damn, why we always got to get the short end of the stick with television? If there was a balance of great programming to counter her stuff, I wouldn't be as mad. But literally, the only black people on TV are the ones that are on there acting stupid. So it's great that we have Scandal and all that stuff now. But like the kids, the younger demographics, they're breaking their necks to watch Love and Hip Hop. So, you know, the teens at my center can tell me everything that happened on Love and Hip Hop last night, but they can't tell me half the stuff that they need to know in order to freaking get into college, which pisses me off. So then I just got to do my job and work a little bit harder. So that's that. Somebody asked me, what is my biggest pet peeve about YouTube? I think I kind of had a question like this already before, but the biggest, I don't know, I got a few pet peeves. One pet peeve is that people always, okay, let me put this down. People always misinterpret things I say or take things out of context and then respond to it emotionally, and they can't see through the lens that I'm speaking through, so they're offended one. They think that I'm attacking them, and then they feel that it's their job to inform me that I am a reverse racist. And then from that point, I'm like, okay, well, clearly we're not even on the same page historically, because there's no such thing as reverse racism unless you feel that because you're not of a demographic that is affected by racism on a macro scale, that you are above racism. So you have your own special racism called reverse racism, specifically for people like you. That's an issue with me. And like literally, like, I don't make any videos to purposely enrage people or make people feel uncomfortable or attack anybody, because I have a very diverse range of subscribers. Like, I have people that like my stuff for the music, some for the dance, some for the comedy stuff, some for like just my commentary on award shows, and then I have a lot of subscribers who watch because they like to hear my 2 cents on anything related to race, politics, social issues, and stuff. So I have to really watch what I do on my channel, because I don't want anybody to feel attacked. And what pisses me off is if I ever talk about, because I'll say I don't hold my tongue with race and politics, because you can't be politically correct when discussing something that isn't politically correct, where you're discussing something that has a horrible connotation associated with it. It's something that's sensitive, it's uncomfortable, it's a gray area. There's no right way to talk about it. Now, that's what pisses me off, I think, is like literally any video that I've made is related to a social issue or race or something, there's always some nonsense on it. Like when I made the whole shit white people say about racism video, which maybe the only thing you could have had an offensive response to was the title, but that was a part of a series that everybody on YouTube just happened to be doing. So I'm like, well, let me go on and get mine in too. But literally everybody, like, I still get comments on that video every week, and somebody's like, oh my god, you're racist, you're this is why racism will never die, because you keep bringing it back up, and I'm offended, and I'm just so hurt. And I'm like, read the description of the video. Nothing I said in that video is anything that I believe or endorse. Everything in that video is something that someone said to me during my tenure in high school and just as a young adult by people who were not of my same race demographic. And all I did was requote some of the things that were said to me that offended me, and I broadcasted it to show you all some of the things that we have to deal with in our everyday lives. And of course, people will take it out of context and go, well, the blue deep end or whatever. But so that's one thing, just people taking things out of context. And then also, what gets me is, when people like don't watch a full video and want to give me a 10-page reply. Like, there was one video, I don't even remember what video it is. It was something, but you had to sit through the whole video to really get where I was going. And this person watched like 3 minutes of the video and was just so offended at what I said, they couldn't sit through the rest of it. They wrote this long dissertation. I'm like, had you watched the whole video, you would have saw that I brought the whole subject back home. And then, another thing is, when it comes to talking about music or entertainment, I will not open my mouth or utter anything unless it's factual or unless I know exactly what I'm talking about, because I don't want to look stupid for the whole internet to see. But every now and then somebody will come and dispute something that I've said, and I'm like, let me go ahead and pull out the Carfax on you, and here you go. Like, so that's one thing. Sometimes with like the R&B is Dead series, like somebody pissed me off one time because I had mentioned that I had watched some special VH1 had dealing with the death of disco, and somebody was like, don't ever make a video about music and then tell me you referenced a VH1 documentary. You need to go back and listen to some of the old music from the 70s. I'm like, clearly you didn't watch the video that I just made. That was one small reference on top of many. Like, and I was like, literally that documentary just inspired me to make that episode of the series. But I'm like, if you watch the video, everything that I said came from a bunch of different references, and just, it's all in the history books and stuff. People just, I don't know, so that's the biggest thing, just people taking things out of context, getting too offended. And of course, sometimes I'll get my feelings if I really worked hard on a video and I think it has a great message behind it, and of course nobody watches it because they want to, all my hood rap videos, those just rack up views. The old girl getting busted in the head with a shovel, That just racks up views like it's nothing. Sharkeisha gets the views. But don't let me talk about Sudden Progressive. Y'all be like, psh. But no, that's why I appreciate my subscribers, though. Because I have some ride or die subscribers that just, you know, like this. Let me see, there's like the Cesar Julius guy. And there's like the AT&T or ATT Center guy. And there's like the Angel Haven. And there's a lot of, there's so many of y'all. Y'all are awesome. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. So I'll probably upload a few more videos in the next week. Because I do feel like I'm slacking as far as videos, so I'm working on it. Bear with me. I'm out. And submit some more questions. I'm out.